Hi guys, it's Ghoul and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be doing a kind of child-friendly haunted maze with like a little pumpkin patch, and yeah, I thought I hadn't seen this yet and I really wanted to give it a try, so I hope you like it as much as I do. So if you know me by now, you know I make the most out of all of the space that we can. I did not want to end up doing another big build just because of PlayStation restrictions and stuff like that, and also time as well. I really kind of wanted this to be one of a quick build that we did. All in all, it took around 25 minutes, and I didn't want it to be another house. I've been doing that a lot lately and I thought we could spice things up by making it a little different. I do love how this maze turned out. We did kind of have to go back and fix a few things here and there as we were going, but yeah, by making over a prefabricated thing, which I don't think I've done on this channel yet, I just kind of thought it gave me a new challenge to kind of work towards, and like with every one of my videos, I do really like how this turned out. As you can see, it was a lot of faff and making sure that we had the right things in place. I'm known for being quite a I think too much about the wrong things when I build. So instead of making it look nice, it had to be practical this time. So I did end up going in and changing a few things, and I did really focus on using the spooky stuff pack just because I knew there was stuff in there that was kind of spooky but also really child friendly. And this is probably one of the first child-friendly builds that I have done for The Sims in a very long time actually. I wanted to include some of the lighting and especially pumpkins, and as you can see I did have to go back in and rearrange the maze because logistically I wanted The Sims to be able to go in there and actually go through the maze and get to the middle, which we left a surprise, which you will see later on in the video. So here is where it kind of gets a bit fun for myself. The only downside to this was the fact I could not use the spider webs on the wall. I really wish I could. I think that would have added a cool element, but for now I was happy with greystones and pumpkin lights and pumpkins and ghosts and cauldrons. But honestly, I do love how this came together. I do think I would take more prefabricated things and make them over as time goes on. And of course, again, like I'm probably going to say at least 30 times in this video, I wanted it to be like kid safe, so it's not going to be too scary. So yeah, so I went with lots of smiling pumpkins and ghosts, and I just thought they were so cute. I love how we have so many different faces for these pumpkins, and I do end up turning a lot of them around the other way just so it looks like we've got some plain uncarved pumpkins, just to give it something a little more different to look at. And of course you can never have too many, so this build probably has at least over, I'd say, 80 pumpkins in it. But yeah, it's spooky season, so why not? I definitely loved including these with the hats and the little ones next to them. I just think they're so cute, and yeah, I really wanted to kind of just really use as much of this pack as I could, so I definitely did. Including my favourite sweet bowl ever, went with the Beetlejuice theme because you guys know me by now. And yeah, and I wanted to kind of go with as much like a colour scheme as possible, like so it was still kind of interesting to look at, but you could still kind of tell that it was a Halloween or spooky related build. So going on in now, we made our pumpkin patch, which I absolutely love the idea of, because in the spooky stuff pack you do have a table where you can go and carve your pumpkins, and I thought this would be quite a cool way to, like, in my mind I was thinking about like how my sim would spend the day. And if you guys have followed any of my Twitch builds, you know that I like to imagine my sims in scenarios on this game, so that's kind of what we went with. We went with like a spooky maze, there is a place to like sit down and eat and cook together, and to just have a really good autumn kind of time. Probably looking at it from another angle, all these pumpkins are going to look funny, but for now I like the fact that we kind of went with this really organic looking pumpkin patch, and yeah, I just kind of wanted to spruce it up a little bit, so I included the pumpkin lights as well. And yeah, these amazing cute little tables with the, like, I kind of want to say that it always reminds me of like Scooby-Doo, like that kind of like table. But yeah, I thought it would be a really good addition. And then I added some more of the themed pumpkins and gravestones in the area to kind of match it with the maze, and of course the two little pumpkin carving tables on the side. So we do go in actually and pretty much put this everywhere because I really wanted to highlight how extensive the actual little pack was. And I think if you were to decorate for Halloween, this is a perfect, fairly cheap pack for you to use. And yeah, I thought it was really cool for what it was. So as you can see, I kind of had a lot more space to play with than I even thought of. So I kind of went with kind of a seating area that I knew we were going to come up with, and some toilets. And I really loved the idea of having these outside ones, especially in this colour. It kind of like added to the spooky kind of look. I do love the fact that we went with darker woods to match the bottom of the maze. So going on in with what seems to be the longest scroll known to man, I did go and use some of the pergolas, which I really thought would be quite cool to sit under, and I really love how this kind of, we really like used the space without it kind of looking so busy. I do a little terrain work, which is rare for me because normally I am all about that terrain, but I kind of kept it to a minimum this time because again I was kind of in a rush and I just kind of wanted to show what we could do in a small amount of time. And yeah, I really like the idea of having the darker cobbles instead of all the flowers and that I normally use. I just kind of wanted to do something a little different, and yeah, as you can see I was umming and ahhing about it but yeah, I definitely think it really worked. And going back into the pack, I kind of wanted to include some tables and chairs and ghosts and more things that just kind of decorate and add to the atmosphere and basically just make it look as cute and spooky as possible. So going on in, what I wanted to kind of achieve with this build is just something a little different to what I normally do. I do go in several times and just put more decorations in here or there, just because I think that that's what really makes the building work. And as you can see, I did go in with some terrain, not as much as I normally do, but I do like the fact that we kind of added a little bit of the trees in. However, this does come from the kind of vampire pack, not the spooky stuff pack, just for reference. Again, I like how we kind of got different levels to look at. It's not all just flat, and it's definitely not a build. It is something a little different. And I think I will look at making some prefabs again, just modifying them or making over them, just because I think like there are so many things in the game that I haven't really explored yet on this channel that I think actually is quite, I think it would just be different and fun to do. Here's me going on in now just to put a little gate in and just continue on with like building up the build. I love how, I love how it looks, but I genuinely think that because it's a little bit different, there are definitely things that I would go back in and change. Again, I'm going to put a few more decorations in to kind of blend the whole build together. This is with no cheats, apart from the fact that you don't you know, you can build with endless amounts of money. I don't put any like CCs in or anything like that. This is just very much base game and the spooky stuff pack, and I kind of think like we've kind of done a lot with it. Again, like I say, I wanted to put in as many decorations as possible to kind of blend it all in. There are some situations where I feel that works, and others where I think I might have gone a little too heavy-handed. But no, overall I think it's cute, and I really appreciate the feedback in trying something a little different. So if you could leave a comment below, I would absolutely love it. And this is the only build that does not have a cookie jar. So we kind of went with the Beetlejuice Sweets one earlier on in the video, so I hope that kind of counts instead. I do go in and make these posts, and go back in, I really wish I would have made it clearer to where we could have maybe like did a little fence situation or something where the cobblestone terrain meets the grass. But again, overall I do like how open it is. I just wish I would have had the foresight to kind of at least maybe put like a fence up along the main entranceway or something like that to kind of maybe make the lights look a little better. Of course it would not be a carry build without any of the spooky stuff, so I am glad I included them overall. Again, hindsight is a wonderful thing, and I always say in my videos there's always a few things I would go back in and change. However, these tables are not something I would change, so I kind of wanted to really use some of the pack and kind of include like a welcome area, kind of, I don't know, I really wanted to put in some kind of relaxation area, because you know, somewhere where you could just put the kids in the maze, you know, let them run wild a little bit, pumpkin carving, and have a little space to sit down and relax. So I did kind of create these two areas under the pagodas, and let me tell you, trying to put these tables in straight or at an angle where I was happy with, it did take a little minute, and I did edit some out, but no, overall I do love how this kind of come about. Again, I love the whole like stretch rip fabric kind of look. I think it ties in with the spooky build, and yeah, I wanted to include these chairs that were kind of like damaged chairs, but I think they really worked with the kind of fit that we were looking for. And of course I had to include the very small hard case end table in purple, because purple is my favourite colour. Yeah, and I just thought, why not? And the only thing I don't really like about these pagodas is it's not classed as a room, so you cannot have any lighting underneath them. But no, I think definitely for future reference I might build like a wall with some light sconces on or something, just to kind of bring a bit more lighting into that area. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon.